Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. We forgot something there, but anyways, well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mikestand. Today is Monday, February the 10th, 2025. Of course, I don't know if it's everywhere in the country, but at least here in California, Southern California, where I live, apparently today we're observing Abraham Lincoln's birthday, so the schools are naturally closed today. So the kids have the day off. So from school, anyways. Kind of funny because this morning when I got up, of course, I happened to turn on Casper and Company, and one of the cartoons they had was a little Audrey cartoon. Um, it was the one where she was out fishing for the day. Talked about how she'd rather be doing that instead of going to school. And the truant officer tried to force her to go back to school. Only by the time the cartoon came to an end, came to find out holiday school closed. So that was pretty interesting. Anyways, of course, I just finish off at least getting to 1933, all the shorts from all the animated shorts from 1933, so earlier today too. So that'll again, a friendly reminder, of course, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Of course, we're just waiting here to see if see if we can get some more people to show up. Um, I'm as I said, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions best of my ability. So probably okay. So we're coming up on 3 minutes here. So let me just check one more thing real quick, and then we'll probably get into the whole, at least letting you guys know what's on tap for tonight. All right. So for tonight, of course, we've got a couple of things we're going to do article wise. One, we're going to go over an article from Bleeding Fool talking about how Hasbro and the latest project that Hasbro is apparently helping to bring to film and TV is Magic the Gathering. So apparently Hasbro Entertainment is working on some film and TV stuff for Magic the Gathering. So that's something to look forward to. Also, tonight, aside from what I just mentioned there, we're going to look back to one of the golden age animators. Go back and look on the life and career of Charles Mintz, who of course gave us such characters as Crazy Cat, Oopie. It was Charles Mintz who was providing a lot of the material, a lot of the animated shorts for initially Winkler Productions and then eventually Columbia Screen Gems. So we'll be getting into that as well. Of course, then we'll get into the wrestling wrap up, look back over this past weekend from this past Friday night SmackDown, as well as Saturday's Collision from AEW. We'll also be looking ahead a bit to tonight's Raw, talking maybe a little bit about some stuff that got announced for this Saturday's Grand Slam from Australia. We'll be looking at that. With that being said, as we're now just past the 5 minute mark, why don't we go ahead and get started with the material at hand here? Just check one more thing, see if we can yep, there's some more people here, but alright, nobody. Alright, so with that being said, then let's go ahead and get started here on the material here. Then material at hand. Alrighty then. So let's see. All right, so here we go. Let's get into this. All right, so here's the first thing we're going to talk about tonight: Magic the Gathering film TV universe in the works from Hasbro Entertainment. Article by John Pallister, published earlier today. All right, so Hasbro, of course, which also has given us over the years Transformers and G.I. Joe, among other things. So let's see what this latest project's all about. So Hasbro Entertainment, in collaboration with Legendary Entertainment, is crafting a comprehensive Magic the Gathering universe encompassing both film and television. The initiative begins with translating the game into a feature film. Magic the Gathering, introduced by Wizards of the Coast in 1993, holds the distinction of being the pioneer trading card game. Its global success in the 90s led to its integration into schoolyard culture and the emergence of dedicated conventions. Which eventually led to other trading card game type media like Yu-Gi-Oh, like Chaotic, even Pokemon got into the trading card game aspect there. Well, so Hasbro's acquisition of Wizards of the Coast in 1999 coincided with the game amassing an audience of 50 million players, attributed to its captivating characters and intricate gameplay dynamics. Mary Parent, Legendary's chairperson of worldwide production, expressed her excitement about the partnership, stating, quote, "We pride ourselves on being thoughtful caretakers of singular beloved IP, and no property better fits that description than Magic the Gathering," unquote. So she's the she's somebody from Legendary, from the people who actually are, I guess, producing the film and TV stuff. She anticipates creating a multimedia realm that appeals to longtime enthusiasts while simultaneously attracting new fans. Yeah, and many of these trading card games do have like movie or television adaptations, whether they be live action or animated. So Legendary Entertainment boasts an impressive track record transforming recognized brands into franchises such as Godzilla vs. Kong and Dune across both film and television landscapes. Additionally, the company is involved in Netflix's Enola Holmes films and the upcoming Minecraft movie starring Jason Momoa and produced by Warner Brothers. And again, a friendly reminder, guys, if you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So as we continue on, of course, Hasbro previously secured a Magic the Gathering television show with Netflix, with Star Trek Picard's Terry Matalas at the helm. I guess Terry Matalas might be a director, I guess. However, a prior attempt by 20th Century Fox to create a film universe did not come to fruition despite producer Simon Kinberg's involvement. Quote, "This is an exciting and complementary partnership, uniting one of the world's most iconic brands with a powerful and proven steward," unquote, said Hasbro Entertainment head of film Zev Foreman. Quote, "Magic the Gathering has inspired decades of epic world building and creative storytelling. It is a perfect match for Legendary's diversified approach to marquee IP, um, and we are excited to work together to build a whole new Magic the Gathering universe." Well, considering that Hasbro is also, has done that with Transformers and GI Joe. You know that this is going to be quite a, they should be successful unless they do something stupid like try to infuse woke ideologies. But I think that hopefully that aspect is finally dying out here. The whole wokeism is finally dying out here. So, anyways, um, now getting ready to move on to the other thing I was going to talk about tonight, and I couldn't find any other like short. I had an option. I could have done one super long article that was primarily somebody just, making accusations, or I could do this article and find something else, more of a positive story. I decided to go the positive route here. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna head over to Wikipedia. We're gonna look back on the life and career of Charles Mintz, animator back in the golden age of television. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go, obviously. Charles Mintz, who was head of Charles Mintz Studios, who of course was producing works for Winkler Productions and later Columbia. Of course, he was one who was doing Crazy Cat throughout the 30s, as well as Scrappy and Oopie. Color Rhapsodies. Fox and the Crow, Little Abner. Among others. So let's look at him. Back on his life and career bit here. All right, so here we go with this now. All right, so Charles Mintz. Let's talk a little bit about this man right here. Charles Mintz, born November 5th, 1889, passed away December 30th, 1839. Of course, he was 50 years old when he passed away. He was a film producer and was married to Margaret J. Winkler of Winkler Productions. So let's see. So Charles Bear Mintz was an American film producer and distributor who assumed control over Margaret J. Winkler Pictures after marrying her in 1924. The couple had 2 children, Catherine and William. Between 1925 and 1939, Mintz produced over 370 cartoon shorts. Life before the film industry. Charles B. Mintz was born in York, Pennsylvania, son of Wolf Mintz, owner of a grocery store. As a child, Mintz possessed a great skill in photography. Mintz attended a York high school. Mintz later enrolled in Brooklyn Law School and graduated. So not only was he a cartoonist, he also had a law degree too. Quite a combination there, huh? Charles Mintz was unhappy with the production cost. So here's his career. Charles Mintz was unhappy with the production costs on Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks' Alice comedies. Those were, of course, the silent kind of live action / animated shorts back in the 20s, and asked the two to develop a new character. The result was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, first animated character for Universal Pictures. February 1926, when the character proved more successful than expected, Mintz secretly made a contract with Disney animators. The only one who did not accept the distributor's contract was Ub Iwerks. Aware of the deception, since Mintz stole Oswald the Lucky Rabbit from Disney and moved the production of the Oswald cartoons to his new Winkler studio, along with Margaret Winkler's brother George. The following year, Universal took Oswald from Mintz and awarded the Oswald contract to Walter Lantz. Walter Lantz, who of course would later create Andy Panda, Woody Woodpecker, Chilly Willy, so on and so forth. Mintz then focused on the Crazy Cat series, which was the output of a Winkler distributed property. And as I said, if you guys haven't already, you guys can like and share the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the question to the best of my ability. So as we continue on here, the Winkler Studio became known as the Mint Studio after he took over in 1929. From 1930 to 31, Mintz produced 12 Toby the Pup cartoons for RKO Radio Productions, which of course also distributed Van Buren's Tom and Jerry at the time. That's the human Tom and Jerry, not to be confused with the cat and mouse Tom and Jerry. And later, of course, would pick up the Disney contract. In 1933, Mint Studios, Winkler Pictures, became known as Screen Gems. Mint produced 2 theatrical cartoons in the 1930s for Columbia Pictures. Scrappy, starting in 1930-1947, was his biggest success, which continued production after Mintz died. And Color Rhapsody, which began in 1934 and continued until 1947. Fables began in 1939, continued until 1942. So he's putting out some work there. After a heart attack, Mintz died on December 30th, 1939. Screen Gems remained open until 1946. The name was later used for Columbia's television division. Of course, the television division, of course, would help to produce shows like Mr. Magoo, I Dream of Jeannie. I think a number of the 50s and 60s television shows had Screen Gems as a partner, among other things. Walt Disney mentioned in an interview that Mintz cultivated his standards for high quality cartoon movies, and he kept emphasizing them even after their contract ended. Mintz was nominated for 2 Academy Awards for Best Short Subject. His first nomination was in 1935 for Holidayland, and he was nominated again in 1938 for The Little Match Girl. Charles Mintz was portrayed in the feature film Walt Before Mickey by Connor Dubin. Now, of course, before Mickey, Walt Disney was doing, as I said, the Alice cartoons in the late 20s. And then eventually, in 1928, would develop Mickey, Mickey Mouse, and, as the saying goes, in the story. And there you go. All right, so let's see, what time is it now? How long have we? Just 21 minutes. So let me see if I can. Let's see if I can find anything that might be any quickies here. Let's see. If there's anything that's been added since I last checked. Okay, and I think I did tell you guys too that MeTV Tunes, for those of you who are having a chance to watch that channel, they're going to be making some. They'll be debuting House of Hanna-Barbera 2-hour block. Next week with a special preview this Sunday. Apparently, they're going to also bring the Yogi Bear show. So there's going to be a lot of new shows on MeTV Tunes starting next week, or not new shows, but new to that channel. The Yogi Bear show will be broadcasting. Let's see, every day at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, followed by McGilla Gorilla Show. You'll have the House of Hanna-Barbera, 6 days a week, Sunday through, let's see, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, and on Sundays at 1 p.m. And House of Hanna-Barbera will be a 2-hour block of just rotating Hanna-Barbera shorts, so get a little bit of everything there. Silverhawks will be premiering at midnight next Monday. So starting next Monday into Tuesday morning, the midnight hour will be Silverhawks and Challenge of the GoBots. Challenge of the GoBots have been airing part of their totally animated 80s. That'll still continue. There'll be a few changes coming to that channel. So all right. So, anyways, let's kind of move on to the wrestling wrap up here. Like I said, feel free to comment and or ask questions if anything grabs your attention. So of course, we're going to go back to Friday night here to talk a little bit about what happened on Friday Night SmackDown. course, the show opened up with a women's elimination qualifying match as Bianca Belair defeated Piper Niven to qualify for March 1st Elimination Chamber coming up in Toronto. There are a couple other Elimination Chamber. Well, actually, there was just one. There were a couple other Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. The other one of them a women's match, and the other women's match, Alexa Bliss defeated Candice LeRae. So as of now, you have Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair have all qualified for the women's elimination chamber coming up on March the 1st. And then there was a three-way match for a triple threat qualifying match between Drew McIntyre, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight, in which Drew McIntyre won to become the third entrant into the Elimination Chamber, as John Cena and CM Punk had already, John Cena announced for it, was allowed instant access. CM Punk last week on Raw proceeded to advance to the tournament. Now, aside from that, of course, a couple other matches that happened in a non-title tag team match, as a way of possibly trying to get a shot. The team of Pretty Deadly of Elton Prince and Kit Wilson defeated the champions Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano DIY to potentially earn a shot at their tag team titles. Carmelo Hayes defeated Akira Tozawa in a singles match. And the main event saw Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeat Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Now, in some other WWE news, of course, there's been a number of releases that have happened over the weekend. As you know, WWE has found, and we talked a little bit about it last week too. There's also one more person that was, I guess, added, but I can't remember who that person was now. But such names as Blair Davenport, the Good Brothers, Giovanni Vinci. Actually, I think that was who was the added. Giovanni Vinci was actually let go. Of course, the Authors of Pain, along with Paul Ellering, are also let go. Blair Davenport, Cedric Alexander. A lot of these talents were not being used all that much, anyways. So some of them will have to sit out the 90-day no compete clause before sign at least with AEW. But but JBL John Bradshaw Layfield had come out and suggested to them that they might want to try to venture onto the independent scene for a while to kind of reestablish themselves, get some work in and all that. That's what they'll probably look to do to help kind of reestablish themselves for to make them appealable to maybe AEW or anybody else. Also, it was reported that Jordynne Grace had shut down her OnlyFans account like months ago in I guess in preparation for being signed with the WWE, as of course WWE has a policy in which their talent cannot have such now many people, including like Mandy Rose, have used it as another source of income. So some people have argued that in order to sign with the WWE, Jordynne Grace basically took a huge pay cut. So But that's all the WWE news I have for you. So let's move on to AEW. AEW, of course, is continuing to work their way towards the Saturday's Grand Slam in Australia. It'll be held right after the NBA All Star Game here in the States. As on this past Saturday's Collision from the Fort Bend Epicenter in Rosenberg, Texas, opening match was a three-way 9-man tag team match in which the Undisputed Kingdom of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong defeated the Shane Taylor Promotions trio of Shane Taylor, and the Infantry of Carly Bravo and Sean Dean, as well as the trio of TNT champion Daniel Garcia and the tag team known as 2.0 of Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. Following the match, of course, Undisputed Kingdom was attacked by current AEW World Trios champions, the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta. But they were eventually able to stave off the attack and end up making a challenge to the Death Riders for the AEW World Trios titles. I believe that is set up, and we'll look at that in a moment here. Bandito defeated Brian Keith in a singles match. Also, in a 6-man tag match, La Facción Ingobernables of Jalisco, Rush, and Beast Mordos defeated the team of Brick Savage and Aries and Jay Alexander. I don't believe they're related, though. Dustin Rhodes, in just under 30 seconds, defeated indie wrestler Izzy James, and then cut a huge promo challenging MJF this Wednesday on Dynamite. Thunder Rosa defeated Penelope Ford, only to be confronted after the match by Megan Bayne. Because Megan Bayne setting her sights on a former AEW Women's World Champion. In a non-title match, AEW World Women's Champion Mariah May defeated Shay Carmichael in just under 33 seconds, having Carmichael dress up as Tony Storm. I guess the way to kind of prepare only for Tony Storm to get kind of the one up on Mariah May after the match, as Mariah May was going to try to abuse Carmichael a little bit more, but then after Luther came out to basically send a message from Tony to Mariah, Tony Storm surprised her. And the main event saw Kyle Fletcher regain a little bit of revenge on Mark Briscoe from his loss in the Continental Classic, defeating Mark Briscoe, heading into his upcoming tag match at this Saturday's Grand Slam event. So now looking ahead to this Wednesday night's Dynamite here, just to get you all caught up on all that. On this Saturday's on Wednesday night's Dynamite event, Max Caster, formerly of the Acclaimed, issued an open challenge, claiming, of course, to be the best wrestler in the world. Will be taking on a mystery opponent. Issued an open challenge for Wednesday night. In a match for the AEW World Trios titles, as we mentioned before, the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta take on the Undisputed Kingdom of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. In a match for the AEW World Tag Team title that was set up this past Wednesday's Dynamite. The Hurt Syndicate, having just recently won the titles from Private Party, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP in their corner, will take on the returning Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn, former AEW World Tag Team champions in their own right. And the main event that's set for it is Dustin Rhodes taking on MJF in a one-on-one match as Dustin Rhodes hopes to beat some respect into MJF. So that's what to look forward to on this Wednesday's Dynamite. And then the Saturday, from Brisbane, Australia, AEW will be having its Grand Slam event, which will air on TNT from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre right after the NBA All-Star game. Matches are already signed for that. First off, in a match for the TBS title that was just signed this past Saturday, as we previously we might have mentioned, Mercedes Moné will be answering the challenge of Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron looks to earn her, build on her momentum and capture her first title in AEW. In a Brisbane Brawl match, Cope and Switchblade the Radar Superstar Cope and Switchblade Jay White team up to take on the Death Riders combination of AEW World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley and 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions Claudio Castagnoli. Kazuchika Okada defends the Continental title against Buddy Matthews of the Hounds of Hell. Mariah May defends the AEW Women's World title against three-time former AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm. And then as previously mentioned, the Dalton Callis family members of AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita and the Protostar Kyle Fletcher taking on Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. That's all I got for you guys for the wrestling wrap up. Let's see. So now what we're going to look at now, going to move on. We're going to start to wrap things up here a little early tonight. So today is Monday, February the 10th, 2025. So we're going to go ahead and take a look back at this day in Niche history. So, and first off, we're going to head back 80 years ago, as on this date 80 years ago today. We will go ahead and pick that up here. On this day 80 years ago today, back in 1945, Warner Brothers' The Unruly Hair premiered in theaters on this date back in 1945. It was a Merry Melodies cartoon that was directed by Frank Tashlin and written by Melvin Miller, starring, of course, Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. This was one of only two Bugs Bunny cartoons that Frank Tashlin had directed for Warner Brothers. The other being 1946's Hair Remover. So there was some censorship with this cartoon, but on this date, 80 years ago today, The Unruly Hair premiered in theaters. So now getting ready to move on to the next piece of Niche history. We move ahead to 2020, 5 years ago today. On this date, 5 years ago today. On this date, 5 years ago today. The WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. Let's see, on that show, what happened on that show? On that show, main event saw an 8-man tag match in which Seth Rollins teamed with Murphy, the current Buddy Matthews in AEW, and a common Razor, AOP, to defeat Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and the Viking Raiders. Of course, the Viking Raiders, the current WWE World Tag Team Champions, the current WWE World Tag Team Champions, Ivar and Eric. Also on the event, Riddick Moss defeated Mojo Rawley for the WWE 24/7 after being involved in losing in a tag match with his opponent, losing to the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. The night opened up with Becky Lynch retaining the Raw Women's Championship over Asuka. So that's all we got for you there. And moving ahead to 2021, on this day in 2021, 4 years ago today, the 125th issue of Back Issue from Tomorrow's went on sale on newsstands on this date back in 2021. It sold for $9.95 and was 80 pages. So the 125th issue of Back Issue from Tomorrow's went on sale on this day about 4 years ago. So with that, I do thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll be back here tomorrow night with more Niche News. Of course, this Sunday, I will have I'll be joined by Rick Piper, as we'll be looking back to comics that went on sale in April 1940 from Standard. We'll be looking at Thrilling Comics, Volume 1, Issue 5. So with that, I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.